The night began as another page in the calendar of international fixtures, but within minutes it became a stage for a story that will be replayed in scouts' rooms and manager briefings. Arda Güler found pockets of space like a magnet finding metal, turning tight corridors into sudden highways for his instincts. His feet did the talking first, sharp changes of pace, short dribbles that peeled defenders off their lines, and passes threaded like needles into areas where strikers could hurt the opposition. Every time he touched the ball, the tempo shifted, and an audience that came expecting a routine friendly instead watched a player assert himself with a mix of artistry and intent. Then, amid a phase of play where the crowd expected the usual ebb and flow, something happened that made the evening about more than a highlight reel. Arda, having already been the flashpoint for danger, carried his momentum into a personal duel. A man-for-man confrontation with a colleague who wears the same club badge back in Madrid. It was subtle at first, a shove of the shoulder here, a tight finish there, but the exchange soon crescendoed into a moment where two players from the same dressing room looked every inch like rivals. For some that was theatre, for others it was the blunt language of competition. What that confrontation revealed is twofold: raw, attacking conviction and the presence of personality that refuses to be shaped by expectation. Arda did not shy away from contact. He invited. He tested the young centre-back's concentration and physical resolve, and in doing so he broadcast a signal. I belong here, I will make space, I will not be muffled by hierarchy. The teammate answered in kind, not by folding, but by meeting force with focus. Intelligent positioning, decisive clearances, and physical duels, one that reminded everyone he is far from a rookie under pressure. That reciprocity turned the episode into more than a single flash of temperament. It became a live exam of who can impose themselves when club allegiances are set aside and national identity demands everything. It's the kind of moment coaches study: temperament under duress, reaction after provocation, and whether competitive heat breaks a player or tempers them into something stronger. For Real Madrid, and for any club that harbours two stars of the same generation, the implications are immediate. Managers have to decide whether they prefer a dressing room of unquestioned harmony or one where sparks are permitted because they drive performance. Selection questions that once seemed academic: who starts, who rotates, which tactics emphasize control versus chaos, now take on urgency. If Arda continues to play with such unfiltered bravery, the manager will face not only tactical trade-offs but also leadership dilemmas. Is the player's temperament a resource that galvanizes the squad or a liability that fractures it? On the other side, the centre-back's composed response earns him credibility. Defenders who can withstand provocation without losing structure rarely go unnoticed by those who pick lineups for the biggest stages. Beyond formations and minutes, this incident opens a narrative about the new generation at Madrid. They are not merely understudies to established stars, they are contenders. Rivalries born on international nights often migrate back to domestic training grounds, shaping how teammates approach one another in smaller moments that compound into season-defining trends. Fans love a duel for its drama, but pundits and technical staff watch for patterns: repeated confrontations, evolving mindsets, resilience or fragility under scrutiny. This single night will now be part of that pattern analysis. It will be referenced in conversations about who deserves the keys to the midfield, who can be trusted in the most heated fixtures, and who is ready to build a personal brand that commands selection and market attention. So who wins in the long term? It's too early to crown either player, but the match offered a preview. Arda's audacity will attract both admirers and critics, and that attention can accelerate a career or make a player overly scrutinized. The teammate who held his nerve proved a different kind of value: reliability under provocation, an underrated currency in championship sides. For neutral observers, the takeaway is clear. This was not vanity or cheap theatrics. It was a live audition where talent met temperament. Over the coming weeks and months, watch lineups, listen for manager comments, and see which way the balance tips, because sometimes one heated exchange in an otherwise ordinary match is the small shove that sends a career and a club season onto a very different trajectory.